Do you like 16-bit cool pixel art characters? Do you like Dungeons and Dragons? Well, if so, I want to show you a cool new app that's been out for a little while and you may have seen stuff on the internet called Reroll. It was a funded Kickstarter and it's pretty cool, and I can walk you through how to build a character in it and show you some of the cool features. So stay tuned. So let's jump in. Here is the website. So this is an app. You can download this on the iTunes or the Apple Store and Google Play. But it is also a web-based browser, which works for us because that means I can show you what's inside it. But this was a Kickstarter. I backed this a while ago, and it's pretty cool. So as a Kickstarter backer, I may have access to certain models and things that the average person may not. I think that was part of the deal. But you see, you can purchase on a standard account key right here for $10. And you can see some of the different pixel art, and you can actually use it to make characters and actually use it as a character sheet. I'm not using that myself because I use D&D Beyond or other apps, so I didn't really see a need to do that. So basically, I had get started on the web, and then I logged into my account. So here it is. So I'm just going to scroll through a couple of the different characters that I've created thus far to kind of show you the breadth of what you can do, and then we'll actually dive into one and make a brand new one. I will go through the options. So you can just see I'll do a slow scroll of different characters that I've built, and you can see there's different backgrounds, different races, and even since I built a lot of these characters, there were new options added. So there's a lot of really cool stuff in here. Let's go ahead and build a new character. So right here, you can see it's got unguided and guided creation. If you choose guided creation, that is going to take SRD content and put it in the character sheet for you. So if you choose unguided creation, it's just going to take you right into the character builder. We'll do guided just to showcase what it does. So here it's going to tell you, it's basically just whatever is found in the SRD. Proceed with guided. And then it's going to take us to the start of the character sheet. So here you can see our different race options. So Ascended is going to be your Aasimar character. Obviously, certain names are restricted, so they call them different things. But you can see you have male and female, or masculine and feminine versions of both. The class won't really affect any of the armor or any of that kind of stuff, but it will affect, or maybe it will, I'm not sure. We'll have to see. But since we're building a guided character, that's where the effect will change. We've got Catfolk, which is your Tabaxi. There's really not, at least currently, there's not a lot of variety or options in those. So if you're looking to make a really cool Tabaxi character, sorry. We have Dragonborn, male and female. We saw a dwarf at the start. So Elemental, this is your Genasi character. Elf, pretty self-explanatory. You do have your sub-race. Actually, we only have High Elf. We used to have other sub-races, but it's just SRD content. So that's just High Elf. We have Goliath. Gnome. Half-Elf. Half-Orc. Halfling. Straight-up human. Living Construct is your Warforged. Oh, I guess it did actually have a difference between the male and female Warforged. And Tiefling. Okay. So we have a bunch of different options. And I can't showcase all of them because we'd be here for forever. So I guess I'll stick with Tiefling for now. We'll build the Lady Tiefling. And I'm curious if we pick, since we're doing guided, if we pick something like, say, Wizard, will that give us access to heavy armor? I'm curious to see. So if you click next, it's going to take you to skin color, and you can choose different body types here. So it has like some standard options. This particular one has 5 different color variants to start with. So that's more if you're looking for a standard, but you can hue shift, go saturation up or down, and then the brightness up or down. So if you want to be like a seafoam green or completely black, well, you can see we can go all different color gamuts and then go more saturated or not. So I guess we'll build this like very bright white tiefling. Then you click done, or you can click up here to reset it. Then when you go to face, you'll see you have different options here. So we've got like a couple of these. First couple, you're not really going to see any difference. Then here you can see we've got like green eyes, red eyes. I can't see, maybe no white eyes. Here's an eye patch. That's a scar, mustache. So again, it's the face options aren't restricted to male or female. You can do whatever you want. They've recently, there's just like we got like a beard with a goatee. There's this kind of baby weird face thing. I can't even really tell what that is. And then they've added some new beards recently to get more stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and I think we're just going to stick with our standard eyes. Oh, we didn't want to do that. Go back. So then we have our hair options. You can see there's a bunch of different options for different hairstyles. Let's see how many there are. I think it's in the 20s. I don't think it's quite 30. Maybe it is. 32. 33 is straight bald. Okay, so there's several different hair options. And some of those were added after the fact. So we'll choose that, and we're going to give her... Oh, let's give her like a bubblegum pink. Yeah, there we go. Bubblegum pink hair. And then because we're a tiefling, we have horns. So you can see it kind of is showing this particular tiefling with cloven feet. You can cover those up with boots. Oh, I should say this thing that here is horns. This is going to kind of be like a unique qualifier for any races that have unique qualifiers. I think for like Aasimar, it's like your wings or like a halo. I think for Dragonborn, it's like ridge scales or something. I kind of forget off the top of my head. We'd have to go back and look. But only classes that have, like, I think humans and elves and stuff, you're not going to have anything here. But we can choose different horn types. We have several different horn options, as you can see. Or just 8, I guess. So he's going to have these kind of horns, and they're going to be very green, these horns. It looks like she should be in an anime. So here we're going to choose backgrounds. These are, again, the standard backgrounds that you would have access to in the SRD. For those of you who don't know, that's just the open source content for 5th edition that everyone has access to. So also, I mean, might be more familiar to you as the basic rules for 5th edition. So she'll be a folk hero, which shows you what skill she's going to get. Then we get to choose her other 2 skill proficiencies for being a wizard. We're going to choose Arcana and Insight. And then here you can say, if you're doing point buy, it shows your racial bonuses, or you can do custom. I don't know, she's a wizard, so we're going to go ahead and boost her intelligence up as high as we can get it. We'll boost her dex up a bunch. 14, her con up to 14. Wisdom. There we go. Next. And we're going to call her Tiffy, so we don't have time to do that. So let's keep going. So now we're going to get into the actual character builder part, where we get to design different armor and things like that. So here is her character sheet. So based as a level 1 wizard, here is showcasing. So again, if you wanted to use this as your actual character sheet, you didn't have another means of doing so, you could, and you can go in here and level her up and change these numbers. Inventory here this is really where we're going to be able to alter the armor and things. Combat, it will showcase some stuff, and we'll get to see a little bit about equipped. You can put in your different spells and things here, so we can add a cantrip, and it'll show us what cantrips we have here. Same thing. Again, it's only going to be SRD content, but that's still a fair amount for spells. And then any kind of additional notes you'd like to put together. So let's go to the inventory. So we'll start up here. This is the head slot. So you can add things to your inventory. So, I mean, I guess if you wanted to constantly change your character, or they had multiple cloaks or helmets or whatever, we'll create an item. Thankfully, one thing they did add was it's going to automatically give it like a base name, like headgear, When the app first came out, this was empty and you had to put in a name for something every time, and that was just very annoying. So you can see here are all the different options for different things we could give her. We could give her like a witch's hat. We could give her these kind of weird horny things. We could give her this like circlet, pirate hat, antlers, a mossy beard, I guess. I think that's what that is. We could give her some goggles, a hood. You know, we have all these different, blindfold. And what you can do is this little slider thing here. This can allow you to get access to change the coloration of different things, just like we had for everything else. So we're going to give her goggles because she's a wizard. We're going to say done. And see, we could name this, so like if she had goggles of night, you could name these goggles of night. And then if you wanted to put a description in here, it might pop up as what's being equipped. So we have that. Let's grab her a shirt. So now see, these are other ones I had created for people that I didn't end up using. So this is just like listed in my inventory. So that's giving me those two options, but we're going to create something new. You'll see it generates top as the base without me adding anything. So we're going to choose some art. Okay, so it does not seem to restrict it based on class. I just wanted to double check that. So you can see we have a bunch of different options here. We could be like a cool samurai ninja. We could, and I think they did have a lot of stuff that was Critical Role related, right? So here's like, not that it all has to be, but I know it's very easy to replicate a lot of the Critical Role characters in here just with some of the stuff that they had, right? So here's like Percy's coat, and I think there's like Grog's. And again, it's a shoulder plate, but here's like Vax's armor, right? That's very Raven Queenie. I think this was Keyleth, but you get the point. So you can mix it up, but she's a wizard, so we could just give her a nice dress here. We have a bunch of different options for clothes, and they do continually add new stuff. And again, similar to what we saw before, you'll be able to alter and tweak the colorations. Ooh, we can give her like a duster. Yeah, maybe she's not like your typical wizard who wears robes. She's got a cool coat. What color should her coat be? I actually kind of just like the base brown, so we're going to leave it like that. And we hit done. Now you see she's got the coat. And it doesn't really show anything specific as far as what's equipped for combat, but we'll get there. Now we'll go ahead and give her some gloves. So you can't really see you'll never really see the other gloves. So you're only going to see the one in the front here. You can see you can get full arm length gloves like this. Kind of gauntlet looking things. We're going to go with this weird oversized gauntlet, and we're going to probably keep that brown shade just so we can keep moving. You can add a belt. You have a bunch of different options from overly large, like dwarven belts of dwarven kind, style things, to like a lantern. Some of these are newer here. Here's like the hanging one with the what's it called, with the crossbow. We've got like monk kind of belts. Here we've got some more like skirts. I think I like the crossbow look. Yeah, let's go with the crossbow. Now if we try to change the color on this, a little bit darker. Yeah. Okay. There's our crossbow belt. Now we'll go ahead and give her some pants. Or leggings, as it is listed there. You can go with some striped pants, some ninja pants, loincloth style things. I think we're just going to go with these kind of black pants. Crazy there. We can add boots, and this is where for the tiefling we're going to lose the cloven hooves. Sorry, my mouse is still broken. We'll go with these. See, it kind of still looks like she's got cloven feet, though. That's part of my problem, is I feel like there's no way to uncheck that. Again, it's not like a standard thing for tiefling to have cloven hoof feet, but people seem to like to give them that. Yeah, we'll give her these brown shoes here. And we can add a cloak. Or other things. So we could give her like, it's just a backpack, this thing with the crystals, shield, sword scabbard, dual swords. Then these here are sort of like, these are what the Azamar things I was telling you about were. different wings, kind of dark halos. Got different kinds of wings. This, I don't even know what that's supposed to be. Kind of like a blob. Doesn't actually tell me. We'll give her kind of a sweepy cloak. And we'll choose it. We haven't picked anything with color lately. So let's saturate it. Let's make it... Oh, we'll make it green. Doesn't really go, but that's fine. So that's the majority of that. Now we can choose a base. You could obviously choose no base, but you could choose like, oh, she's on grass, ice, this kind of rock with the different lights. Here's a a dock. This is basically the blue version. Here's an orange version. Here is fall leaves. Here's some rocks. We just have like a pedestal with part of a pillar. Here's like a pentagram symbol. Rocks. We've got a forest with some in the fall. Necromancer. Here is green forest. We just got, I think this is just like a stone pillar. Oh, I like this one. That one I think is one of the newer ones here. This one. We're gonna add that kind of. That's fine. And now the main thing here is the weapons, right? So the main hand weapons, you're going to have more options for the main hand because you're going to be able to see it. Like you won't actually be able to choose a shield in the offhand because the way it's designed, you won't be able to see it. So you can see we have all manner of things, right? From like guns to magical effects to crossbows, bigger crossbows, hand axes, loots. Here's more magical effects depending on how you scythe. Here's a guitar. I just say the only thing I would be mindful of is certain color schemes blend too much in with your background, so you can't actually distinguish the item in the hand from the armor that they're wearing. So if we keep scrolling down, you'll see again more different item options here. And obviously we could change the color and that'll change the magical effect. Again, a bunch of different shield options. But like I was telling you, there is animated things. Again, they don't really serve a huge purpose unless you're going to be looking at it yourself or filming a video. Here's a whip. You can barely even make out the whip there. And here's like a white one. Kind of make that one out. It's kind of glowing. The books were actually a later edition, as were the whips. A cane, size, snap. See here, all of the effects from here on are animated. So you can get a glowing staff. Bugs spinning around there. There's our lightning bow. Here's the magical effects I was telling you about. That thing glows. Here's Ford from Critical Role's Falchion with the moving eyeball. Got like a flame tongue. It kind of glows, and then a dripping blade. So you get the point. We said she's a wizard, so we'll give her a book. And then we can do the offhand again. You're not really going to get to see too much with the offhand. You could do a weapon, right? Some of the weapons are bigger. You'll be able to see them. Dagger, probably not so much. Oh, actually, they updated it. You used to not be able to do a shield in the offhand. That's a recent addition then. Here, we can put like a magical effect in that hand. We'll do that. And then we can add a pet is the last one here. Let's go ahead and add our pet. Here, we'll choose an art option. Now, the pets are not animated, but you can see we have a variety, right? Like, so here's Trinket from Critical Role, right? It's a bear with armor. You get different things, like here's a pug. It's kind of hidden behind the tail there. I don't think there's an option to bring them to the front. Here's a big phoenix. Here's a seagull, imps, a shadow creature, sort of like a shadow wolf, funky looking, I guess, fairy dragon, maybe? Owl. We are a wizard, so let's give ourselves an owl familiar. We can go with this white one. And that's the majority of it, right? So if we go to combat now, you see it's going to give you the book, whatever weapons you equipped, and you could assign them bonuses if you wanted. Spells, that was still the same. Nothing crazy here in the notes section. So again, I just wanted to build a character. So here's the showcase. This is just the main section here, and you can do all sorts of things like export the character. We could share the character online. We could go in here and level her up, so that way we can get additional stuff for her different characters. So let's go ahead and level her up one level in wizard, because we are a wizard. Go hit next. See what that does. Did we break it? Is that not added into the beta? I guess it might not be. Huh. I guess we broke it. Let's see if we can log back in and fix it. Because that's interesting. Oh, I guess we should also state it is in beta. I do think it runs a little bit smoother on a phone or a tablet than it does here on the internet. Maybe the service is down. I don't even know at this point. But well, I'll talk to you while we wait for that to try to load. But that was pretty much it, guys. Oh, it loaded. So we'll jump back in here and see. Let's make her level 2. Okay. So is it going to make us choose? It doesn't really give us any options here, right? Class features, it doesn't list anything. Let's go ahead and see if we can level her back down again. And let's go over here, try the level up feature again. Cool. Okay, so it does give us it does tell you. So this is if we had multiple options, this is where they would be. Your hit dice, and then there we go. So now is it going to tell us anything about evocation school? No, it doesn't look like. I was just curious. I hadn't actually built a character in this way to see what it worked, how it worked. But again, I'm not really planning to use this to track my character as a character builder. I'm using it mostly just for the art. But as you saw, that didn't take too long, and obviously you could build these things a lot faster if you weren't going through and explaining everything like I was. But I'm a big fan of the Reroll app. Just as a reminder, you can purchase a beta, or you can purchase an account key for $10 currently. So it's $10 to get yourself access to pretty much everything I showed you there. They have been constantly updating things, adding new features, adding new options. It's pretty cool. I mean, if you can animate, you could probably do something really cool with these sprites, right? And animate them to like move around to make like a cool video or a GIF or something. I mean, I grew up, in the in the 90s, the late 80s, early 90s. So 16-bit, Super Nintendo and that kind of art, pixel art is something that I really, really enjoy. So this is really for me. I'd say, this is right up my alley. So if you're a fan of pixel art and, cool character designs that you can do yourself, because, I'm not an artist, right? So when I go to try to build a character, I either have to commission an artist, try to build them in Hero Forge, and try to post color them in Photoshop or something like that. And this lets me build them pretty easily. I can build them myself. I'd say with, pretty much everything, I've been able to build just about every character I've made in 5th edition and the characters of all of my parties and all of my players with relative ease and in pretty close proximity to what they actually are or how they describe their character to look. So, I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. Did you pick up a copy of Reroll? Did my review help decide whether or not you want to do that? It's a pretty good app. I'm a big fan. Again, it's still working through the bugs, but they're really receptive to feedback. So if you do like it, make sure to hit them up on social media and let them know what you like, what you don't like, and perhaps we can get additional things added in the future if there's something you really want to have. I would obviously love additional races. That would probably be the biggest one, but I imagine that that's got to have a decent amount of work behind it rather than just adding like a new shield or a new sword option. Race has multiple options within it. I would like to see the Tabaxi or the Catfolk really built out a little bit further because they don't really give you a ton of options to make them look unique and different. Yeah, and just obviously just more races, right? Aarakocra, maybe Kenku, lizard folks, not really there. Dragonborn, no lizard folk. I don't know. I'm sure there's other ones that I can't really think of off the top of my head that I would like to see. But yeah, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see more content, sometimes like this, but usually D&D related in the first place. And if you want to see me out there doing stuff live where you can interact and help alter the way things go, I do stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and every other Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.